Shalom, family. This is Grammy Yah once again. I will be canning beans, you guys. It's going to be so easy. I know it's been a long time since I've done a canning video, but in between time, on September the 7th, you guys, I turned 60. Yay! And I am feeling it. I am getting a little tired, but I said, let me get my butt up and get some things done, and hopefully by the time this video comes out, that the port workers will be back to work and not be on strike. And so that kind of got me perked up. I'm like, okay, I have all these beans. I have all this stuff over here that needs to be put in jar. What will happen if the strike goes on and on and on? I was like, I can't eat raw beans. I'm like, I need to put these beans in a jar. So what I did, I've already washed my beans, family. Yes, and they are pinto beans. And believe it or not, I got these from the local pantry. Yes, I did. So I got 5 pounds here, you guys. I have my quart jars. I'm going to be canning in quart jars today. I'm not even going to put a lot of seasonings. I'm just going to make it very simple. Beans are washed. They have not been soaked overnight. I don't soak my beans overnight. Matter of fact, I opened up a jar of 2022 beans the other day that they were not soaked overnight. They were delicious. But hey, if you want to soak your beans overnight, go at it, okay? So here we go. So I didn't get my cup. Hold on. So when you are working with quart size jars, you only need 1 cup, because these babies gonna swell and they're gonna give you a nice full jar. All right, just 1 cup. And I don't know how many jars these 5 pounds gonna give me, but I'm gonna keep on filling them until I don't have any jars left. So today will be a canning extravaganza, okay? I will be probably using both my canners today, right? And so this is where a lot of people get a little confused. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, and vegetable broth. And you also can use water. Yes, you don't need broth. If you're a vegan, I'm pretty sure you're just going to stick with the vegetable broth. But it doesn't matter what type of broth you have in your beans. If you don't have any beans, what did I just say? Water. All right? So what I'm going to do is I have 4 quart size jars, and these are the wide mouth jars. All right? And I'm just going to season it with a little sea salt. Matter of fact, this is sea salt and pickling salt, seasoning salt. So sea salt will be fine, or let me show you the pickling salt, just in case if you want to get the canning and pickling salt. So I have that mixed with my regular Himalayan sea salt, and I think I got some pink sea salt in there as well. It doesn't matter, as long as it's not the table salt, okay? So here we go. So when you are working with quart size jars, a cup of beans, and then it is recommended that you put 1 teaspoon of salt. You don't have to put salt in it. It's not going to do anything to the canning method. So if you don't want salt, you don't need salt. But when I open up my beans, I want my beans to be already seasoned, okay? So I'm just putting just 1 teaspoon of salt in each jar, all right? And guess what? When your stomach is touching your back and you are hungry, and even if you don't put salt in it, you still gonna eat them, all right? And so now I am going to just use garlic salt. Usually I do a lot of seasonings, but you really don't need a lot of seasonings because it's going to taste delicious anyway. And so with my garlic powder, I usually do a couple of teaspoons in each jar. You can add pepper, you can add onion powder, you can add onions, you can add garlic, you can add liquid smoke. The sky is the limit. I just already have beans with all that, so I'm just going with just a simple blend. That's it. And so now I'm going to add my broth. And I'm going to show you, you can mix broth with the water. You can go straight broth. You can go a little bit of broth, a whole lot of water, a whole lot of broth, a little bit of water. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be delicious, okay? So here we go. This is my chicken broth. I'm going to go like halfway with my chicken broth. And then I'm going to go halfway with my water. And you can do it however you want to. And let me bring you down so you can see me debubble this, okay? Now you have to debubble it to get the air out of the beans. It is just that simple. And once you debubble it, sometimes you will lose a little headspace. I lost just a tad. I'm just going to put it to the 1-inch headspace. It's usually where that line is, okay? And so now I'm just going to take my paper towel and some vinegar and just wipe around the rims just in case if any broth got on it. Put my lid on it and my top, fingertip tight, and that's it. This is ready to go in the canner. So let's do a couple of more. Like I said, you can do a little bit of broth. Then the rest with water. Or you can do all broth. However you want it. All right? Or you can use all water if you want to. But I'm going to continue on. I'm going to use the rest of this broth. So I need a little bit more water. And like I said, everything is room temperature. All right. And just like the first jar, we're going to just debubble. Just that easy. I don't have any more broth, so the rest of these beans are going to be processed in water. All right? And they still going to be delicious. So don't get uptight if you don't have any broth. Water's going to work just fine. Once you put your seasonings in there, you're going to have something delicious. All right? Just wiping off my rims. Everything looks good. Fingertip tight. Lid and ring. Fingertip tight. Lid and ring again. Fingertip tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rest of these beans in these jars and I will bring you back. am back, you guys. Grammy is good. You guys, I had 5 pounds of pinto beans, right? I was able to get exactly 14 jars. 14 quart-sized jars. I told you I'm going to have to pull out my second canner. So here we go. My beans are room temperature. My water is room temperature. All right. Everything is room temperature. I am working with a Presto 23 quart canner, and I can get 7 quart-sized jars in my canner. All right. And this is the way it look with, I believe this is the one with the just water. Yeah. Let me see if I can find the one with just broth. It is a different color. And the reason why it's this color, because of that garlic powder. So it's still going to be delicious, like I said. Yes. So, like I said, I'm working with a Presto 23 quart canner, you guys. I have hard water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of the vinegar into my canner. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check my top. You always want to check your top. Make sure this button go up and down. Turn it to the side. Turn one against you and one side away from you. If it turns, you got to make sure it's tight, because if it's not tight, your canner will not come up to pressure. Make sure your your rubber gasket is up in there good. And see this vent pipe right here? You have to make sure you can see straight through that vent pipe, and everything checks out. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put my top on it and close her up. Yes. And so since everything is kind of like room temperature, I will start my canner on medium high. Yes, medium high. And make sure that your canner is in the middle of your eye. It's that simple. So now, once my canner began to come up to pressure, once I hear it in there just bubbling and boiling, I will turn my heat on high so it can come up to pressure quickly. So once it comes up to pressure, you guys, see this vent pipe right here? This vent pipe right here will start to shoot steam. Yes, and it's going to start to shoot steam steady. Tongue twister. Once it starts to shoot steam steady for 10 minutes, I'm going to bring you back. All right, family, this vent pipe has been shooting steam for 10 minutes. Now I will put my weight regulator on it, and now I have to wait until my canner come up to 10 pounds of pressure. Because of my elevation, I need for it to come up to 10. If you do not know your elevation, just Google it. All right, family, I have reached 10 pounds of pressure. Now I will dial my heat back just a tad because it is on high. I will set my timer for 90 minutes because I am working with quart-sized jars and I am canning beans. If your canner goes between 10 and 11, that is fine. Once you process your canner for 90 minutes, you turn your fire off. And you have to wait for that button right there to drop. And once that button drops, wait a little while, 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can open up your canner. All right, you guys, it's been about 25 minutes since my canner came down from pressure. My canners, you guys, they act real good today. This one was only 2 minutes behind this one. So I am so excited that I didn't have to wait forever. Oh, and yeah, if you have not hit that like button or subscribe, what are you waiting for? Thank you. All right, you guys, here we go. Take off my weight regulator and I will take off my top, but I'm going to let it back down. So you want to stand back because steam comes out, and you know steam is worse than the actual fire. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unscrew my top. I'm gonna lift it up away from me, and then I'm gonna let it back down. Just like that. And you have steam coming out. You guys, even though it's been, oh, those beans smell so good. Even though it's been about 25 minutes, it's still a lot of steam in there. So this time I'm going to take it and I'm going to lift the lid up away from me. And I'm going to take it to the sink. Oh my goodness. You guys, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Here we go. Let's see what we have. I have 7 in here and 7 in there. 14 jars, you guys. Here we go. Here's jar 1. And I'm not going to bore you taking out all 14 of them. They smell so delicious. They look delicious. Voila, here we go. 14 quarts of pinto beans, you guys. I was hoping that they were sealed for me while I had you on camera. So now we're going to just let this sit here between 12 to 24 hours. Since it's nighttime, I'm going to wait till in the morning. In the morning, I will check to make sure they're all sealed. I can see some has already sealed. I'm going to remove the rings, all the rings, and I'm going to run some dishwater. And I'm going to put them in the dishwater and just wash them down. And then I'm going to store them in a cool, dry place. But before I leave you guys, I want to let you see how clean my water is. I had absolutely no siphoning. Absolutely no siphoning. Yes. And that's a good thing. So all praises to the Most High for that. So this is it. And so what happened is they will continue on cooking for a little while, and they're going to swell more. So this will give me, ooh, that scared me. They're sealing down, and that scared me really. So they will continue on swelling. So it will give me a whole jar of beans. All right. So if you like this video, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Now, y'all need to start pinging and paying for my viewers now. But anyway, I love you guys. Y'all know I do. But guess what? I love the Most High more. Shalom.